Welcome to this Qigong for perimenopause and menopause. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the organs of the kidneys, liver, and spleen to support hormonal regulation, emotional stability, energy balance, and graceful aging. Qigong can be a great way to help us through this stage with ease, vitality, and empowerment. Let us begin by warming up the body. So rubbing the hands together and having a good shake and bounce out through the body. So bouncing through the knees, shaking the arms, the hands, the spine. You can do it more vigorously by lifting up the heels or more gently, depending on how you feel, but just with the focus on releasing and letting go any stiffness. And then we'll rotate the body, just letting the arms be very loose, hitting off the body as you turn. Helps to open up the waist and the hips. And you can have the hands coming up to the chest area as well. Just find a nice flow with the spine, be very loose with the arms. Letting them rest back by your side. Now coming up onto your toes and raising the arms. This is a great way to warm the body. Getting a beautiful stretch up to the ceiling, onto the toes, and swinging back. This brings warmth into the body. And letting that settle back down. Taking a few breaths here in Zhangzhuan. Feet hip distance apart. Knees are bent, tailbone drops, spine long. As if you have oranges under the armpits, 10% tension in the hands, tongue to the roof of the mouth. And just bringing your attention to your breathing. And also to the connection of your feet to the earth. If you can, take your shoes off and have direct connection with the earth. You have a great grounding experience. Then I'm going to bring the hands onto the lower dantian, connecting with our energy center. Visualizing that energy ball there in the lower dantian getting brighter and brighter. As we take that into a wave. So bend in the knees as you slowly start to wave through the body. So breathing in as you bend the knees, bringing the breath up, and breathing out as you take the breath down through the back. Again, this beautiful wave through the body, and we're bringing that movements for the spine so the spinal fluid can move through the back more. We're awakening the hips into the organs and into the womb space, the lower dantian. Bringing that focus and breath and movement to the whole torso. So really find that flow of the breath and the movement, the breathing in as you roll up, and the breathing out as it goes down your back. You can visualize the microcosmic orbit coming up the front of the body and cascading down the back of the body. And bringing it back to our regular stance. And clapping the hands together, warming up the hands, placing them on the kidneys. As we go into the girdle vessel rotation of the hips. Again, we'll work in with the lower body, the torso, the hips, getting into the ovaries, the womb, the kidneys, urinary bladder, organs. So by moving there, not only are we stretching the joints, the hips, but we're also getting movement into those organs. So here the breath is just slow and steady. And finish by bringing that circle back to the center. And then we're going to rotate in the other direction. You can visualize a spiral from a center point, slowly spiraling out, getting wider and wider. This is such a great movement to stay very mindful of really noticing what's happening in the hips, noticing how the back feels, how the hip flexors feel, and really get very mindful with the movement. And we spiral that back into the center point. Back to Zhangzhuan as we take a few breaths here and adjust. Breathing into the lower dantian and also feeling that connection with the earth. We're going to open the heart to the sky. So as you breathe in, palms up and expand the chest as if the heart was opening up to the sun. And as you breathe out, giving yourself a beautiful hug and tucking the tailbone right in and dropping the chin. So you get this tremendous stretch up the spine. Now you can do this with a heel lift as well. If you feel steady enough to balance, you can lift the heels and then drop the heels down to the earth. So alternating the hug with the arms as well to keep it symmetrical. Breathing in and breathing out, and find that beautiful flow with the breath. It's a wonderful way to expand and contract, getting that stretch into the spine and also opening the chest, bringing a sense of openness, bringing a sense of joy. Often when we feel a little bit closed off with our emotions, this open feeling can feel quite strange, so opening it up and then bringing the hands in front of the eyes, staring into the palms, and then look through the palms. Hitting the hands off the legs as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, bringing the hands down the front of the body, back. Again, for another stretch, feel like you're bringing in fresh energy into the body. This is a wonderful way to feel that expansion into the energy around you and feel like you're bringing that energy down through the body, down to the earth. This is a very calming exercise. Helps to regulate, helps to make us feel a bit more grounded and connected. Back to Zhangzhuan, our Qigong stance, for a few breaths to adjust. Bringing the fingers interlaced up onto the toes, squeezing the torso as we take a side stretch. Here we're not only getting a beautiful side stretch into the body, but we're also stretching into the liver, the kidneys, the spleen and stomach. Lowering down gently as you breathe out. So breathing in, interlacing the fingers, coming up onto the toes, palms to the ceiling. Breathing out, squeezing the lower body as you tip to the side and your face and head look up onto the toes, to the side. So here, this is where we get the wonderful massage into the organs, releasing off anxiety and worry from the spleen, and also anger and frustration from the liver. We're also stretching into the kidneys and releasing fear. So as you breathe in, you could breathe in support, nurturing, forgiveness, and wisdom, and release off fear, anxiety, worry, and frustration. And allow those to settle into the body as you land. Back into Shanzhuan. Bringing the hands back to the lower dantian and again connecting with that energy center and connecting with your feet, bringing that sense of groundedness and centering. A lot of the times we can feel a little bit off balance, so keep centering. It's a great way to counteract that. Going into our wonderful kidney stretch, the kidney meridian. Here we're going to take a breath in as you reach up, and as you breathe out, guiding the hands down the legs and grabbing a hold of whatever's available. If you can't reach your foot, that's fine, just grab a hold of your leg. And gently breathing through, we're stretching into the kidney meridian. And into the reproductive organs. Going for 3 on each side. The organs that can get quite depleted during perimenopause and menopause are the kidneys. And so by allowing this beautiful flow of energy at the back of the body, we can help to bring fresh qi to this area. It also helps to relieve any back pain or stiffness. It keeps the whole body mobile and flexible. And back to the center, breathing in and breathing out again, bringing that energy down. And as you do this, visualize everything settling in the body, a sense of groundedness and connection. As we charge up our energy ball in the lower dantian, bringing our attention, breathing in and out, expanding that energy within the lower dantian. Visualizing that ball of energy spinning brightly, getting brighter and brighter. Another great exercise, eagle spreads its wings. Again, stretching into liver, kidneys, and spleen. Breathe in and breathe out. Allow the flow of the movement. Breathing in as we come to the center and breathing out as you stretch. One hand on your lower back, the other arm up to the ceiling. Looking up at the hand if you can. And the foot that goes behind, you can be on the side of the foot or just stepping behind if that's too much. Finding your balance, finding your flow with the movement. Again, lots of movement here into the torso, into getting all of the organs moving. A great movement for the reproductive system and the digestive system also. Stepping now into a wider stance. We're going to have straight legs here. We're going to be hip hinging from side to side. Again, working deep into those hips. And here you want to act as if you're holding a ball between your hands. So the movement from the upper body is coming from the hip hinge. So rather than forcing the upper body to move up and down, we're allowing the hip hinge to do the movement. This is a great way to get a beautiful stretch from the inside of the leg and open up the hips. Stepping it back to hip distance, and again, sinking that energy down, bringing the hands onto the lower dantian. Breathing gently, visualizing that energy ball in the lower dantian. If you are outside doing this movement, you can visualize your feet on the earth and breathing in energy from the earth, coming up the legs into the lower dantian. Breathing in the earth energy. And as we finish up here, we're drawing the energy up from the earth into the lower dantian. Visualizing that energy ball in the lower dantian, now getting brighter and brighter, smaller and smaller. You're charging up that energy into the lower dantian. You can tuck it in behind the navel, like an energy pill, charging you up with energy for the rest of the day. And as we bring ourselves back around now, lapping the hands together, rubbing them together, we're going to tap through the body, the cheeks, between the eyebrows, top of the head, back of the head, onto the chest, the stomach, down the top of the arms, up the inside of the arms, under the armpits, down the side of the body. Rubbing the kidneys, tapping the sides of the hips and the sides of the legs, up the inside of the legs, onto the groin and knees, backs of the knees, and give it a little shake. Thank you so much for joining me with this practice today.